All right, hello my friends, Doug here with thelincolnlist.com. I want to welcome you back to what might be a frustrating, hair-pulling experience today. This market, man, is getting on my nerves. As far as the dollar amount of losses, it's nothing really. It's frustration. It really is frustrating. I can't get anything going this week. I got 2 days. I'm just throwing bunk, hitting the rim, man. And I tell you what, there's some great moves out there. I mean, we're seeing some stuff bounce $20, $30. Jesus. Then the next candle, it wipes out 10. I mean, we're all over the place this week with the volatility. And it's like if you get behind it, you get on the right side, you make a bank. But I feel like I'm in this situation. I know we all go through it, where you're looking at something, you're like looking at 3 stocks, and then you pick one out of the 3. It's got a good setup. And it's like, oh, I should have went with the other 2 because this one I picked is a dud. It either doesn't do anything or it moves around my average. I'm just in one of those things. Now, the reason I like to talk about this stuff is, first of all, I do this for a living and I go through this too. So if you're somebody out there that's an amateur and you're struggling or whatever, this is just what you got to deal with. I mean, sometimes you're hot and then sometimes you just have a couple of stumbling points. Like I'm going through a week here that's kind of sloppy. But the good thing is when I had sloppy or bad weeks or weeks in the past, several, like 15 years ago, where things didn't go well, I grenaded accounts. Like I lost months worth of money. Now it's just a few bucks and it's more anger and frustration and disappointment or whatever, just dealing with those emotions. And that's just what you got to do. Sometimes you got to slow the hell down. What I have a tendency to do, and I'll share something with you because I think it's this way with a lot of traders. It's like, when things are going really well, I normally trade 1 to 2 stock, just 1 trade to 2 trades a day. I'm in sync with the market. I find what it is. I hit it. I make some money and I'm done. That's it. I'm done. I have a tendency when I start trading 4 or 5 trades a day and scalping for pennies, that's when things that's not the day. I never really profit big time on days like that. So I'm kind of in this situation right now. And I think it's important for all of us to understand this, that one of the biggest changes in my career going from amateur to professional was realizing when you have a substantial edge, when that edge is in your favor and you exploit that and everything is working and firing on all cylinders, your trading is good, your attitude is good, and your win rate is good, and the market is good. I'm not saying the market going up every day meaning good, but the market is good as playing well with your strategy. It's helping you like you've got the wind at your back. That's when you want to be aggressive. That's when you want to take more risk and work harder during that time. When you get in periods where your strategy starts to conflict with the way the market's working, that's when we need to slow the hell down. And I know we all kind of do it. We try to force it. That's why I say when I get around the 4 or 5 trade mark per day, that's telling me I'm forcing it. Even if I'm green, I'm forcing the issue and I'm trying to make something happen. And when I try to make something happen, in this case, normally you don't make anything happen. You just get smoked. And I think you're seeing that right now. I got the SPY chart up right here and it's schizophrenic today. I'm telling you, you start out with a big sell-off, you get a really good bounce and it spends a lot of time. This gray line, by the way, guys, up here is VWAP. Spends a lot of time just tapping and tapping and tapping on this 274. Finally, right here on this candle, a little bit later in the day, it breaks out, gives you the sign like, okay, we're going to break out. We're going to trade right back up to the nearest piece of resistance, which is 277. Should be a no-brainer at this point. If you're a chartist, this is where technical analysis can go bad. Things just don't work sometimes. And what happens is it just immediately gets smoked. It spins, these are 5-minute candles. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight. Drops almost 3 points. You saw a lot of stocks like that, like Nvidia. I mean, you're sitting here cruising right along, spending an hour or so, just kind of building, tapping, setting up consolidation, setting up levels, and then you just smoke out $10, $5, $6, $10. Some of them like Shop, $20. I mean, they just all of a sudden out of nowhere get clean. So that's what I meant by the market. Sometimes you get in these days where I don't think anybody really has an edge. You get spots where things are just giving you false readings. You're not seeing things clearly, and it's tough in an environment like this. I'm not going to say that, that's why I've always said before, not every strategy works every time in every market. That's just total garbage. You can make things work in markets, but there's times when things are better than they are at other times. When you have these instant washouts or these instant ups that go $4 or $5 followed by instant washouts down, it's going to be hard for anybody. And if you're using tight stops, you're going to get stopped out a lot. That's just part of the business. The solution to that, guys, is just slow down. You've always got to slow down, kind of just take a breather. I think for me going forward this week, like I said, it's not much. I'm probably down a few $100s, which is nothing. Really, I can make that back in a single trade. It's just I've gone about 5, maybe 6 trades over the last 2 days, and I haven't really got a hold of something. I haven't sunk my teeth into something. I'll get it before the week is over. I say it all the time. I'll find it. But so far, the first 2 days, not like last week where everything I was touching was just gold, like gold, you know. But the market was really bullish, and the market was helping. But this week with this kind of volatility, erratic action, the impact of how this oil is going to work, I just haven't quite but there's been big moves. I mean, you've seen them, Tesla. I mean, there's no shortage of moves. It just seems like when I'm looking at it and then I click off the chart and I click back, I missed it. I mean, I feel like I'm just chasing. And that's one thing that we don't want to do. And the reason I bring it up, I'm not going to keep just dragging it on. But the biggest lesson is it happens to all of us. Don't revenge trade. Don't force anything. Don't push anything. This is where patience, the second tier of patience, comes with. You just got to sit still, wait for the setup, wait for a better day. It will come. Things will work out, and that's how you do it. Don't do anything stupid now that's going to hurt your emotions or worse, drain your bank account. So trying that now, asking, where is this market going to go? My guess is as good as anyone else's. You know, I can draw the lines I want on charts. I can come up with all the fundamental analysis that I want here at this point. I don't have a clue. You know, I really don't. It's day by day for me right now. I mean, maybe we gap up, maybe we gap down. We've had a few days of selling. We've approached some pretty good areas of support. I'll bring the SPY back up here so everyone can take a look at it. If we're just kind of getting the overall theme of the market. You got this low from the 13th. You know, you're looking at 277. Well, we're already underneath of that here, aren't we? 271. 271. You got down to 272s today, but 271. You get down around 271s if we start closing under 271, 270s, and maybe we start seeing deeper corrections to take us back to 241. The ranges are so wide. I mean, you can still be at 241 and technically be in a short-term bullish pattern. But I'd watch those, especially really important on this close on the 13th, that if you're looking to make the bullish argument, the market has to stay up there as long as possible. So how about we take a look at some stocks? Well, I'm just still sitting in the same stuff. Like, you know, I'm still looking at the ROKU, which is holding up really well. I mean, take a look at this stock. It bounced. I mean, look at the bounce on this, 97 to 101. Still, it's relentless. We've got Netflix earnings tonight that should kind of give us a glimpse now that we're going to earnings season. I think this is going to be a very important earnings seasons too, because it's going to give us all a glimpse of just how good, bad, or really where we stand on the economical impact of this coronavirus now that these places have been shut down. Certainly they've given out guidance, but we're going to see where that actually ends up. I think tomorrow, you know, if we continue on a selling path, I want to kind of take a look at some Apple. You know, I was already in this today, just I'm getting nowhere, but I want to look at this maybe for a bounce play. This app, let me pull up Apple here. I'm just talking about it. I don't even have the chart up for you guys. See, told you, I'm just losing my mind. I kind of like this for a bounce, especially if we trade down tomorrow towards the 258s. I mean, there's still a lot of time left in the day here, another hour. Anything can happen. I have a position here, but you know, I'm standing right here about break even with this thing. Just isn't firing away. Just isn't. That's what I've been talking about. I'm not getting anywhere this week. I'm not losing any money on this, but I'm not making any either. So I'm just sort of picking up my rublets. Just trading for croutons right now. It annoys me sometimes. I like this one still. I don't know how it's going to close, but I think if it washes out tomorrow, gets closer to some of those supports like 265s or something. I like this. I like this one as a long. Also want to start looking at possibly Facebook too. It hasn't been doing very well, and it's down here, but it's still holding these wicks on the daily. I'm really looking at daily charts more now. You know, around 167s here, fought off really good there today with this, you know, and made a nice little rally as we sit here holding on VWAP. As I'm doing this, we got about an hour left. That's something that has some interest, especially if, you know, the tech sector has been performing well, and maybe Netflix really solidifies that. So, you know, these businesses, I think, here are coronavirus free. They don't really have the impact as a lot of others do, but keep an eye on that. I'm starting to get interested in both Apple and Facebook for maybe a more substantial type of reversal play. And maybe you could put NVIDIA in that. The problem you got to deal with NVIDIA is it's getting like Netflix, which is almost to the point where it's untradeable. You know, it's just out of control, like T-Doc. Sometimes these things just move, and they move in all kinds of crazy ways, crazy ranges, and it's just really hard to get a good risk to reward balance. And maybe I tell you what, guys, let's not forget about Roku. I think prior to this, Roku was really one of my favorite, going from the bearish stance that I had a month or so ago to the bullish stance on it. I really felt this thing had just about a lock on 150. Like, I thought really it's going to go to 150 prior to this oil crisis. And, you know, with all due respect to it, it's still holding up relatively well. The dip got bought up nicely today. It really depends on how it closes. But, you know, I think you're back into a situation where we're market specific. If you've got select names that will perform well, either via news or momentum or counter momentum to the current environment, but it also will rely on the market. When you're moving around 500 to 600 points on the Dow, or you're 10, 15, 20, 30, 70 points on the E-minis, God, 70 points. If you're moving around like that, everybody's going to, most of the stocks are going to look just like the market. I mean, the market is going to dictate in this times of volatility how most of these move. Again, there'll be some select, like on my list, I got Beyond, Netflix, Peloton, and Shack. They're hanging in there well green. But for everybody else, they're taking a hit just like the market. So that's where we are. We're still in this extreme volatility, and we'll probably be here for most through earnings season until we get a clearer picture. Maybe we go back. Who knows? Who knows? It's not up to me to speculate on that. I'm just trying to get mine, and that's where I'm at. So, guys, I want to thank you for watching this. Oh, by the way, just quick, my stuff's still unpacked over there. If you keep its tabs, it's still unpacked laying over there. As always, if you need help with your trading, we're here for each other. Make sure you visit the live trade room. We'll see where we finish up. Thanks for watching this edition of Market Mutterings. I'm keeping it short and sweet, not running around ranting today, because I'm getting tired. It's Tuesday, and I'm already tired. I'm like on my third cup of coffee here. Hopefully, I don't hit the whiskey by Wednesday. So anyway, thanks a lot. Appreciate it, you guys. Talk to you tomorrow.